Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and today I'm going to play the rarest tier 8 vehicles in the game. So let's find out just what are the least played tier 8 tanks on the European server in the last 30 days. Well, it is actually the Udarniy. Now, this vehicle, it's actually a tank that's been in the game for a couple of years now, but it's still currently being super tested with no seeming like it's ever going to arrive on the European server. But funnily enough, I actually have one of these on my Asia server account. So why not a perfect time to play on? You can see the account name at the top of the screen. Yeah, the Slow Toes. I wonder where that name came from, right? I bought this vehicle by purchasing loot boxes many years ago with the intention of releasing a tank review on something that I thought was going to arrive on the European server, and this tank never has. So now I'm going to guess why the Udarniy has actually never arrived on the European server. I think it's because it's just bonkers OP. The vehicle has like 257 level hull armor down at tier 8. So you can basically just over-angle the vehicle, and it's absolutely outrageous like that. If I show you at the back, the way that the tank's armor is, it's not. This isn't actually a hitbox at the back. It's shaped like that, all the way through, and all the way along the side of the vehicle. So it's crazy. It's crazy. So I've got two builds on this tank, one with an aiming device, one with the turbo, and I should take the turbo as quickly as I can. What's this? Standard battle bugged? What's going on right now? That's a bit weird. Am I going to get to play? The chat's working. Just the countdown timer at the top wasn't, interestingly enough. Anyway, it seems like I get to play. Wow, look at the advanced Asia server tactics. Play smart. Okay, play smart. Stay safe. Okay, I play smart. Okay. Okay, we got this. We got this, guys. I'm going to play smart, so we'll be absolutely fine. Anyway, the Udarniy. It's like a 257 down at tier 8, although its gun definitely isn't as good as the 257. It's more of like an IS-3A gun, but it does have 285mm of heat pen, whereas I thought the IS-3A had like 270. 285 is more than enough for a variety of tanks. It's only really the tier 10s that you're just going to start to struggle with. Man, the power to weight ratio on this vehicle, not ideal, is it? Not ideal. Its power to weight ratio is 13.85, so with a turbo we're going to put that up a little bit more. I wonder if I took the field mod to improve ground resistances or the track health, considering this thing's angled very well. Man, I don't have enough credits on this account. I don't want to spend like 600,000 credits on a durability device, but I think this tank with a durability device could be quite good as well. If I had one of these on my European server account, I would definitely put a really fancy turbo on it, because I think it's the kind of tank that would absolutely love to be rushing into position. All right, the enemies have got two big FE405s, but there's only one real position that I like to play on this map, and I like to go take the corner. If I can go take that corner, I think I might get to side scrape against the Basante and the Tiger 2, but it's a real risk crossing this gap right now. I might get FE405'd. Okay, no FE405 happened, so let's go make the next corner. No, hopefully no spotting along here, and now I can just wait. That tree might be a little bit sus, as they could see that fall. Wondering if I should really wait here, or I should expose myself. Oh, hello. Hello, hello, hello. He won't expect me to be here. It's time to farm, guys. The sneaky Soviet Udarniy. Oh, is that a stock Tiger 2? Asia server's a little different, right? He's actually leaving. I mean, that's actually a sensible play. Let's be fair. He just came in and he left. I wonder if the Asia server's going to be that different to the European server. Man, I can already feel my ping. I'm actually fairly impressed that I'm only getting like 180 ping, but I can feel a little bit of packet loss here and there on this as well. Guess I got a side scrape in this vehicle. Probably should angle a little bit more and try and bait them, but that will make that upper plate a little bit awkward. I can't believe that Tiger 2 just drove in and drove out. Not today, sir. Don't want to get farmed by the Soviet tank in the corner. Okay, mate. Okay, mate. You just leave. You just leave, bro. All right, shall I try and side scrape out here? See if we can be able to catch some scrubs. Anyone along here? Oh, hello. Hello there, little Ferdinand. I should probably be reloading for an intuition heat switch here. Never mind, no time to heat switch. Has he got the baby gun or the big gun? I guess we'll find out in a second. That's the big gun. That was a bad shot, wasn't it? I should never have fired that. Man, that nearly 200 ping causing me a little bit of awkward right now. The aiming on this vehicle as well. That is a horrible reticle. But yeah, bouncing gold rounds off the back of this vehicle when you side scrape out, that's not going to get boring. Going to have a little bit of a peek here and put one into him again. And man, this is just the Udarniy in a nutshell. Just side scrapes out around a corner, and if you play against people who kind of don't know what they're doing, and even if they do, and yeah, it's rough for him. I'm gonna switch back to APCR. Doesn't look like this guy actually realized that I was in the corner of this map. Man, Asia server. He's got 2 marks of excellence as well, and he's oblivious. He's oblivious to his map control, and he's got 2 marks on a contender. Look at him turning around now. RT tried to get me. E75's got a little bit of awkward. I'm going to go after this guy again because he wants to get the E75. Hit him again. Put him down to a 1-shot. Drop back this side. Don't want to cross for the Ferdinand. Ferdinand's crossing for me. Wonder if the contender will go after me here. Oh, no! No! No, not like this! Oh, it was all going so well, and now it's going all so wrong. I'm going to have to turn for this contender. I think he's going to come after me here. Maybe I can just reverse side scrape here for him a little bit. I wonder if this guy's going to try and get me here. Oh, man. Oh, man. It was all going so good until it wasn't. Should I try and turn for this Ferdinand? Oh, no. His Tiger 2 friend. They're all coming at me, guys. What are you doing? Cheeky weasel. This guy going to try and get my butt? I have to just angle and hope he sucks. No, not like this. Can you believe it was the stock Tiger that came back to haunt me so bad? Oh, well played, well played. Dang, I really thought this was going to be my game, guys. I really thought this was going to be my game. Ah, yeah, looks like I'm just slightly over-angled there. Needed to be angled a little bit less, but I didn't want to give him the whole of the back of my tank. Well, GG. Well played to the enemy team. They did a good job. They got us good. Well played. Okay. Well, that was 2,800 combined. Shame the E75 and friends really didn't back me up. All I needed was one more shot on the contender from the E75, and I think I would have been in there. But yeah, well played to the Tiger 2. Looked like they were an absolute muppet at the start of the battle, but actually ended up coming back strong there. Okay, so that was the rarest Tier 8, although it's kind of not available on the server, but at least I got to show you what the super testers are all playing and what the Udarniy might be capable of if it comes out on the European server. The next tank that I want to play is the ISU 130. Again, a vehicle that's actually never been sold on the European server, but it's actually been available on the Asia and the NA server quite a lot, I believe, for super testers. This vehicle is an absolute freak of a tank. It really is. It's kind of like the SU-100Y up at tier 8, because it actually has less penetration on its gold rounds, but it has more damage. That's absolutely outrageous. The alpha damages on this tank, it has 3 different alpha damages. It has 490, 570, and 640. The real problem with this tank is that it's a tier 8 TD that only has 238 millimeters of pen. So yeah, good luck dealing with your tier 9 and tier 10 matchups. Talk about tier 9 matchups. Oh my word, look how many 752s there are. And I can't blame them. I cannot believe that Wargaming sold the 752 for only 7,500 gold. It seems insane to me. I tell you what, I got all of the discounts on my main account, so what I thought that I might do is buy it anyway, and I already have one, and then see what happens with the gold compensation. So I'll try and remember to do that on my EU account when I log on, because this is the last of the rare tanks that I'm going to play today, so to say. So you know what, I might as well go for the gold shell here, because I really think if anyone pushes up, I can get their broadside and punish them. Man, that tank is not very accurate, but I'm not sure if I even have all of the field mods on this vehicle. Come on, little chieftain, come and expose to the baby. Come on, one of you try and go up on the hill. Should I aim for the light tanks up there? What's this? Teenage VZ. Ah, we lost our Udarniy game. Not ideal. Is he going to keep plowing? To be fair, like regular rounds, gold rounds, they don't really make too much of a difference right now. There we go. Great shot. Great shot. But yeah, it's so interesting that less pen, more alpha on this tank. The crazy thing about this vehicle is an 8-second reload when you have 570 alpha is actually wild. It's actually wild to have 570 alpha with an 8-second reload. That gives this thing some of the highest damage per minute in the game, I believe. Because with its standard damage of 490, that's 2,800 DPM. So we're increasing that substantially. You are going to have to pay for it, though. And obviously, to only have 200 pen, it basically means that this thing, in the right situation, is an absolute monster. But it's only really an absolute monster when you're able to pen. So you want to have all of, like... It's like the ultimate glass cannon. But it's not a glass cannon that has really high alpha. And it's not a glass cannon that has a really, really good rate of fire. It has this, like, mix. It's, like, not bad alpha, and it's not a bad rate of fire. But it's not good. It's not good. I wonder what the shell velocities are. 960, 900. So it's actually got less shell velocity on its gold rounds as well. A very weird tank. It might be one of the strangest tanks in the game, actually. I would go as far as to say that. One of the strangest tanks in the game. That's 752 having fun with his new exceedingly good tank. That Progetto's not going to poke that. He can't poke around that corner there. There's a big old bulge in the side of that. Is that a fortification that struts out, or is it just a pile of rocks? When you think about it, most fortifications are kind of just piles of rocks, right? Especially with these dilapidated castles. I think this Lynx is going to poke up here. He might do. Well, that's my second light tank of the game. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Good calls so far, Mr. ISU. Let's go forwards. See if we can get some more shots. So yeah, I can't believe Wargaming have never really sold this on the European server. It's not overpowered at all. I'd say this one is below average. It's weird. No, Wargaming seem to be so hell-bent on releasing so many vehicles, but they've got so many that they just don't release as well at the same time. All right. Come on. It's probably because they just don't want to... I guess they say it's a little bit of a boring tank, or maybe they want to just keep it as like a reward for the super testers. I believe it's a super tester reward. Ooh, an T90E2. I could be able to overmatch up into his vehicle. I seriously think that the that the Asia server is way slower than the EU server. Like, this gameplay's really slow. It's almost like I've gone back a few years in World of Tanks. Everyone's so chill. Everyone's willing to camp. But then again, you know, I've played 2 games on the Asia server and I'm pretending like I know everything, right? That's definitely not the case. I'm going to change flanks and go and try and go after this 752 over here. Hopefully the M4190 doesn't spot me as I'm making my way across. I'm paranoid that my mic is muted because I got the aircon on right now. Oh, what's this? Pat in the tank. This looks delicious. I'm going to switch out to a gold round for Pat in the tank here. Seems so weird to be switching out to a gold round to have less pen, but to have more alpha. Did he spot me? How did you see me? Nightmare, guys. Nightmare. And look at that. Look at this. I got no hit points left. So when I said it's a glass cannon, I truly meant that it's a glass cannon. I'm really surprised that I got spotted there, though. Is this tank really that tall? How did I get spotted? I really can't believe I got spotted there, but oh well, that's life. Bad trade deal. Foch will probably blind fire me here. No! Hopefully I can get back in time. My gosh, this thing is slow backwards as well. 14 reverse speed? Ugh. You need to have some better driver skills. This game's really close, but it's so sus. Dude, I feel like I played this game pretty well, but my result's not ideal right now. Think that Foch will push forwards? The AAT-60's down at least. 752 might come around the corner. Will I need a regular round for him? Sounds so weird to say. Do I need a regular round so I can have the extra pen? Probably. Probably. It's kind of really nice to have different rounds for different purposes. Lots of people have always said over the years, like, would the game be better if the round system was like this? And I agree. If I could go back and change World of Tanks to be more like this, it would make sense, right? The only issue with this in the current form is if they were to employ it, it would basically buff all of the armored tanks and nerf all of the weaker tanks. Weakly armored tanks, I should say. And at the moment, armor is really powerful in World of Tanks. I know people will laugh like, oh, QB, I get penned all the time. Yeah, but if you go and take a look at the tanks that have the better win ratios, ugh, are the vehicles that have the better armor. There's no doubt about that. So armor is still the most important statistic in World of Tanks. I mean, just look at something like a mouse. Probably a gun that you could have that on like a tier 8 heavy these days. It'd be good on a tier 8 heavy, but not outrageously OP. What makes the mouse is the armor, right? It is the armor. Oh, I got to watch out. That bulldog might be sitting in those bushes. Right, my team seems to be flanking round. So what I'm going to do is make my way through here. Try and get back into these bushes. See if I can poach through the center. We've got a gun advantage, but we don't have a hit point advantage. Man, it's so weird playing on the Asia server right now. It really is. The action is a lot less. Maybe it's because the tank type that I'm playing. I'm not saying that this isn't a more enjoyable game. It definitely reminds me of a time of World of Tanks past where each battle felt like it just developed slowly. Probably had some closer endings. What's this? Shall I go for an HE pen this game as well? Alright guys, I penned one of every type of round. I penned a regular round, I penned a gold round, and I penned an HE round. This was ammunition roulette on this tank. You've seen all 3 different types of alpha damage. Actually, I might be lying. I think I fired a gold round on the LT432, but just imagine that I fired a regular round, okay? Sounds good? Just imagine that I fired a regular round. But yeah, this vehicle, I would actually quite like to get it on the European server, purely as a... It makes you think. It makes you think about the different ammunition that you're firing at. Really lightly armored tank, fire HE. More heavily armored vehicle, just stick with your regular rounds. And do you need that extra alpha against a weakly armored target, but you still couldn't penetrate it with HE, or you want to be able to overmatch? Then go for the gold round, so to say, on this vehicle. Talk about gold round. This AMBT has enough hit points to justify going for gold here. Now, probably more go for the HE. And there we have it. The ISU 130. Incredibly rare tank. Not the best game, but not the worst. So do I think that you must purchase this vehicle if it's available? I don't think so. I don't think it's a very good tank, in my opinion. Incredible damage per minute. Just look at this thing's damage per minute, though, if we manage to penetrate the gold rounds. 3,320. That's like tortoise level DPM down at tier 8. So it could print. But I think that lack of gold in a tier 10 matchup is just going to be so painful. And a lot of other tier 8s are probably just going to laugh at you. Okay, so that was the Udarniy, the ISU 130, and now let's have a go in the T95E2. And I can tell you, I am not happy about having to play that vehicle, that's for sure. Okay, guys, so let's do a test. I've currently got a whale amount of gold, 668,993. 668,993. Now let's purchase the Object 752 for 7,500 gold and see how much these 34 5x missions are going to cost me and a garage slot. I clicked purchase. Okay. Now let's go back into the garage. Okay. So it deducted 7,500 gold and it gave me back 6,500 gold. I got a garage slot. I got a crew that I don't care about. But let's go into my missions now and see if I got those 5x experience games. I did. I got myself 34 5x experience games for the Object 752 for 1,000 gold. So whether that's a good deal or not, I'll leave that up to you. I definitely didn't need the garage slot. I definitely didn't need the crew. 34 missions with the maximum discount of it costing me 1,000 gold in game. Okay, with that said and done, let me focus back on the video. And that is, I'm going to play a vehicle that I really wish that I didn't have to play. I'm not going to lie. This vehicle, this is the least played tier 8 tank on the European server, and for very good reason. This is the T95E6, boys and girls. And I've played this vehicle so little that I don't even have the field mods on it. Usually only playing it when people vote for it on Le Pole website, right? I'm going to go for a second build where I probably go for a turbo as well. I'll put the turbo in the first slot, vents in the second slot, just so I can be able to maybe try and contest some early positions. So, shout out to QB's little helper, who actually got me this tank, who was Norwegian. And QB's little helper became my refer a friend and then grinded through the refer a friend system to be able to get me this tank. And I think that's the only way that it was available. I'm not sure if it's still available in the refer a friend system, but all you need to know is that it's kind of the present that you kind of get at Christmas and you go, oh, hey, wonderful, this is brilliant. And then you're never going to play it. It's a horrible tank, boys and girls. Absolute disaster of a tank. Huge weak point, an okay turret, okay hull armor, but people are just going to shoot the weak point unless you've somehow managed to hide it around a corner. And then combine that with only 190 regular pen and 250 gold pen, an unimpressive alpha of 240. This is truly a tier 8 that time forgot. This vehicle, when it first came out, was not special. And now, I'm driving alongside something that doesn't have a weak point, has a 300 damage auto reloader, and it also can manage to get like 280 gold pen on its APCR rounds, and I only have 250 heat pen. Man, I mean, and to cap it all off, that huge weak point on top of this tank gives this thing awful camo rating. It's got 7 camo rating when it's moving, which is worse than like the E50M. So yeah, literally one of the worst tanks tier for tier in the game. At a tier that I just don't think is enjoyable anymore. I really couldn't recommend anyone plays tier 8 inside World of Tanks. For me, unless you're playing... I mean, the only real reason why people are playing tier 8 tanks, in my opinion, are because they're playing their overpowered premiums, or they're trying to grind up a tech tree. But who am I kidding? No one's actually grinding up tech trees anymore, right? Alright, there's an ELC probably in this bush right there, I'd say. I was actually trying to blind fire, not trying to shoot the Senlac there, but in retrospect, I wish I'd tried to shoot the Senlac instead. Oh, hello, Senlac. Not quite. The armor actually working on this vehicle for a change? Is that another CDC, or is that a guy managing to catch me around the corner there? That was an impressive shot. I can overmatch him, though. Poor guy. Get rid of these boxes and they're not going to be in my line of sight. That'll be good. That kind of exposes my lower plate a little bit more, though. Dude, every time I hit a shot on one of these awful vehicles, I really feel like it's a mini accomplishment. Is there a Borsig over here? He was. Where was he, roughly? I think I'm going to push, try and take the next corner. The enemies seem to be quite passive on this flank. It also allow me to have better angles on this CDC, I believe. Is he getting pushed by the Progetto? I hate killing people who are being abused by physics. So I'll report the Progetto. I believe it was the Progetto who was actually... Oh, man. Me reporting that guy just made it so I took 750 damage. Rest in peace. But I always report, even if I see people on the enemy team abusing their allies... Despicable behavior, right? I got him once. Okay, I go up here. I'll have my weak point exposed, but at least it'll allow me to hopefully catch the shot on this Progetto. This is the only time a vehicle like this is going to do well, where it gets to literally just sit there and farm. This guy's trying to hide behind the wreck of the player who he abused. Wow, inaccurate too? Adding to the long list of things that just suck about this tank, I guess. The long list of things that just suck about this tank. I could go on. Like, let's have a half-an-hour YouTube video of everything that sucks. The aim time, the gun handling. That's why I'm using vert stabs on this vehicle. The accuracy, the camo rating, the engine power. God, the top speed. Everything. It literally feels like this tank was designed to be below average 10 years ago. Which... that's pretty much it. I guess it was designed to be a below average tank for recruits. Man, look at that. Every time I turn the vehicle, the reticle just blooms out insanely so. Alright, well, I'm actually looking like I might win a game in this tank. Hell hath frozen over. Gotta watch out for that SU. Let's go forwards after this Type 59. Didn't even realize there was a little location here to drop in. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Can't get that IS-3. He's behind. I could probably get HE shells on this. Do you think there's a ELC behind me? There probably is, right? No, there isn't, because I got spotted there as I did that. Right, let's go after this guy. SU might get me from somewhere, but can you really worry about that right now? Not really. ELC spotted up north. SU could be back in these bushes, I'd say. That's what I would be if I was him. Doesn't look like it. Well, look, it's definitely not the most impressive game for the rarest tank. If you think about the fact that the Udarniy and the Udarniy and the SU-130 PM. Oh, couldn't quite catch it. If you think about the fact that the Udarniy and the SU-130 PM were vehicles that were under super test, this is actually the rarest that has ever been available on the European server. Man. Oh, an absolute horrible tank. This tank, it reminds me of a type, what is it called? A Type 59 Patton. That's a horrible vehicle as well. Almost the same style. And do you know what? I just realized about this tank, it's not even a premium. I believe it's a reward vehicle. And so it doesn't even make extra credits. I mean, yeah. That pretty much sums up this vehicle. Horrible statistics, unenjoyable gameplay, no opportunity for camo, no opportunity for DPM, no opportunity for hold down. And it doesn't even make bonus credits. It doesn't even make bonus credits, boys and girls. It doesn't even make bonus credits. Just absolutely horrendous. And this vehicle is so rare that it's only been played 20 times a day. So that game that you just saw, that was 5% of the entire T95E2 for a whole day on the European server. All right, what's the next rarest tank? It's actually the PZ58, but that's not really fair because it's a Mutz that just doesn't have the skin. So instead, oh man, I was really hoping I was going to get to play some good tanks today. I'm going to play a vehicle that averages less than 700 damage a game. It is the Kanonenjagdpanzer. This vehicle, this is the Kanonenjagdpanzer with the 90mm. Just to let you all know, this is a horrible tank. This has never really been an enjoyable vehicle in World of Tanks. It has 240 alpha damage. It has awful gold penetration of 250, which means that unless you get into a nice matchup like this, that you're never really going to be able to fight back against your opponents. The only thing that it doesn't even really have DPM. It's got 2,200 DPM. The only time this tank has DPM is when you're actually firing HE. This is basically a medium tank without a turret. Am I going to use an exhaust on this vehicle? Nah, I'll probably still go with a gun rammer. I'm trying to think about where I should take this vehicle. And I'm seriously thinking about getting to the front and trying to play like a little bit of a scout rather than sitting at the back. I think that's got to be the play. We're going to run gun rammer vents and coated optics on this build. The great thing about this tank, I guess, is that it's fast. And I don't know whether it has preferential matchmaking or not. I always make this mistake. It's so bad that it should have preferential matchmaking, but I don't think it does. I think it actually has to meet tier 10 tanks. So yeah, just all horrible news. I have 3-marked this thing, but I think that's just because the vehicle's so bad that the people who play it just don't actually do a lot of damage in it. Okay, we're going to get forwards, hopefully not get spotted by the ELC for 90, and there he is right away. At least I stopped him getting forwards into the bushes. That was his plan, was to get forwards into the bushes. Man, I'd love to farm that Lorraine. I'd love to farm that Lorraine. I know what this ELC is planning. I know what he wants to do. He's going to go get forwards into that bush. Oh, let's go. I actually penned an HE shell on the side of that T103. Pretty good. The HE rounds on this tank, one of the only good things. If you can't manage to make those HE rounds work, you're not going to make much work. I'm almost certain that ELC must be in that bush, but there's nothing that I can really do about it right now. Thinking about dropping back and trying to spot. One thing that is quite nice about this tank is it does actually have really good camo. 14 camo while moving, and its camo while firing isn't that bad. So yeah, long distances, not too shabby. But yeah, I'm really having to try to love this vehicle. Now, one of the reasons why this tank is so unpopular and why it's so rare is because for a while, it was actually quite well played. A lot of people had this tank. But when Wargaming released the Kanonenjagdpanzer with the 105mm, Wargaming actually offered people to trade in their Kanonenjagdpanzer and be able to get a discount off the new Kanonenjagdpanzer with 105mm. I know, when Wargaming actually used to care about its customers when they released new vehicles, right? They don't seem to do that so much anymore. But yeah, back then, this one was the original, and then they added in the 105 version of the vehicle, and they gave people an option of trading in their 90mm version, which is what I'm playing now, to be able to get a discount off the new 105mm version of the vehicle. I've actually got a tiny bit of pen on his mantlet there that I could get. Can I pen him with regular rounds as well? In the mantlet? Not quite as much. I don't know why he's sticking his gun up like that. Man, this vehicle's accuracy, it's not bad. The gun handling's not bad either. The dispersion values when you're moving and when you're turning, not so good. But the actual aim time on it, not too shabby. So that's why this vehicle is so rare, because I guess most people would have traded in their Kanonenjagdpanzer with a 90mm to be able to get the 105mm upgrade. And everyone who didn't, well, I guess they've probably realized this isn't really a good tank to play now. Why would you ever play a tier 8 with only 238 standard pen and 240 alpha damage? Just doesn't make any sense at all. I might... Ah, he keeps looking at me there. That was a bit scary. I can't pen him. If I was in another tier 8 TD, I might have been able to. Probably should have fired heat there, because the heat won't lose penetration over distance, whereas these AP shells, they actually lose about 10 to 15% of their penetration at this kind of distance. But the heat shells won't have normalization, so the heat shells will actually have less pen against angled surfaces up close. Oh, here we go, Ferdinand time. What are we going to do? I think I'm just going to try and track him. Here we go, guys. This could be fun. There's no durability device on this Ferdinand, and I got his tracks locked down in the perfect position. Let's go! The dream scenario right now for the Kanonenjagdpanzer. Ah, shame that the Caliban managed to make it across the gap so fast. Luckily, I'm actually staying hidden here. I might reverse a little bit further up just to try and keep as far away from my opponents as I possibly can. Unfortunately, I'm back on the European server now, and the teams seem to be melting, but that's life. Oh, that Centurion's going to get close. I think I'll go up here and then try and deal with the Centurion when he gets closer to me. Maybe I can knock down this tree, try and get a little bit of camo from that tree. There's the Centurion. He hasn't seen me, he's blind firing. So I'm gonna have to wait for him. He's blind firing still. I'm not spotted. Centurion's a good player. Oh, guys, this is gonna get ugly. I have to hope this Scorpion will help me. I have to hope this tree helps me here. Has he spotted me? Oh, God! Oh, God, Caliban! No Caliban! Oh, cool, the Caliban missed. That's good news. Nice, he's out. Oh, I'm spotted up the butt. Maybe if I don't fire, they won't see me. Ah, they did see me. You know what? This is a good effort for a tragic tank. This is a good effort for a tragic tank. I will take 3,400 combined any day of the week. What a shame that I just didn't have a little bit more assistance. Just a little bit more help. And maybe some kind of dream could have happened. So, all in all, ladies and gents, that was a series of the rarest tanks at tier 8. So the Udarniy, it's rare because it's not available on the EU server. If it was, it would sell like hotcakes, and I reckon it would become quite well played. If you have an opportunity to get the Udarniy, I would recommend it if it's ever released on the European server. It's a crazy good tank. The ISU 130, that's rare because it's not released on the EU server outside of super testers. It's quite a funky tank, and if you're a player who likes intuition switching, it could be quite a scary tank in the right situation. But I'd say all in all, bad tank for the current meta. The T95E2, horrendous tank. It's not even premium. There's a reason why that is the least popular tier 8 in the game on the European server. Horrendous, awful vehicle. And the Kanonenjagdpanzer, it can do okay in the right situation, but why you would ever play this when you could play something like a CDA, or even just play a version of this tank with the bigger gun, the Kanonenjagdpanzer with the 105. That's why this vehicle is not very popular. Anyway, it wasn't a bad game. Centurion 5-1 was a great player, did a really good job blind firing those shells and made it really hard for me to try and find the position at the end. But yeah, I'll take that 3,700 combined. Not bad at all. Anyway, ladies and gents, boys and girls, that was me playing live for YouTube. Really hope you enjoy me playing live. If you do, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And let me know what you think about all of the rarest tanks at tier 8. And are there any hidden gems that you would recommend at tier 8? And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.